Hello, welcome to class 12 Business Studies, Chapter 11 Marketing Explanation, Part 11. Today's topic is personal selling. Now let's see what does personal selling means. Personal selling involves oral presentation of message in the form of conversations with one or more prospective customers for the purpose of making sales. Means they do business on a personal basis, which means face to face interaction between the seller and the buyers for the purpose of sales. So it is a personal form of communication, and I said it involves face-to-face interaction between seller and buyer for the purpose of sale. The personal selling does not mean getting the prospect of desire what seller wants. They don't have to see only the desire, and not only that, they have to focus more on the concept of personal selling, which is also based on customer satisfactions. They should see their satisfaction always, and the way of doing business is not only selling of the goods but also in return satisfying them with the product. So this means personal selling is involves face-to-face interactions between the seller and the buyer for the purpose of sale. So this is the meaning of personal selling. Next is the features of personal selling, and under this there are 2 points. One is personal form and the second is development of relationship. Now let us go in detail. The first one says personal form because in personal form a direct face-to-face dialogue or face-to-face conversation takes place, which involves an interactive relationship between the buyers and the sellers. Because in personal selling, the buyers and sellers have to communicate or interact face to face, because the closeness allows both the parties to observe each other's action closely, and they become friendly and know more about the product and gets more of its information as well. And the second one says development of relationship, means in personal selling allows a salesperson to develop personal relationships with the prospective customers, creates a trust and bonding between the buyers and the sellers, which may become very important in making sales. And relationship allows the buyers and the sellers to come together, which improves the relation between them. Okay, so they normally make a friendly, honest and trustworthy relationship with the customers, so that they get more along with each other and become comfortable in interacting with each other. The relationship should be important because the seller can give more information about the product, and at the same time the buyer like he gets or she or he gets a chance to clarify his doubts regarding the products. And personal selling is more effective form of promotions, because with the help of salesperson, customers can convince the buyers by demonstrating the use of the products and making changes in the product according to the need of the customers, so that the customers can pay more attention and listen to the information very carefully, and making a good relation or a bonding between the buyers and the sellers. So this was the features of personal selling. After features is the merits of personal selling, and under this there are 3 points. Number 1, flexibility. Number 2, direct feedback, and number 3 is minimum wastage. Now let us go in detail. So under the flexibility, it says that there is a lot of flexibility in personal selling, because of the sales presentations which can be adjusted to fit the specific needs of the individual customers, by clarifying their doubts or whether they like or dislike the products, everything. So that is why it is flexible in nature. And second one says direct feedback. So in the personal selling, there is a face to face communications. Okay, so it is possible to take a direct feedback from the customers and to adapt the presentations according to the needs of the prospects. So because of it, because the personal selling are mainly related to the face to face communication, so it becomes easier for the buyers and the customers to interact with each other, and accordingly the needs of the prospects can be seen. So a third one is minimum wastage. The wastage effort in the personal selling can be minimized because a company can decide the target customers before making any contact with them. So because they make a certain target, so it becomes easier for them, so there is a chances of less wastage in the personal selling. So wastage can be increased, so much effort is not needed for the wastage. Next is the role of personal selling, which means that personal selling plays a vital role in the marketing of goods and services, and it is important tool for businessmen, customers and society. And under this we will be discussing on three importance. So they are importance to businessmen, number 2 importance to customers, and number 3 importance to society. And now let us go in detail. Now let us start with the first one, that is importance to businessmen. And under this there are about 8 points. Number 1, effective promotional tool. Number 2, flexible tool. Number 3, minimizes wastage of effort. Number 4, consumer attention. Number 5, lasting relationship. Number 6, personal support. Number 7, role in introduction stage. And number 8 is link with customers. Now let us go in detail. So before we start with all this importance, let me tell you that personal selling is one of the most powerful tools for creating more of demand for a firm's production to increase their sales. So the importance of personal selling to a business organizations may be described as follows. And number 1 says effective promotional tools, which means personal selling is an effective tool which helps to increase the sales of product, and salesman explains the merits of products to the customers because which is the plus point which helps them to interact with the customers through face to face communications. So this is one of the most effective promotional tools. So because of the face to face conversations, they can tell the details and the advantages of the product to be used. And number 2 is flexible tool, which means that in personal selling, efforts can be changed according to the types of customers. So salesmen are attending, they may change the offer in varying purchase situations. So it is a flexible tool, so they can change according to the types of customers. So this is also the plus point because of the face to face communications with the customers. And third one is minimizes wastage of efforts, because as compared to the other modes of promotion in personal sellings, the wastage of efforts is minimized, which we have already discussed in the advantages of the personal sellings. Because what they do is the customer because the company itself, they set a target, so that is why it minimizes the wastage. And the fourth is customer or consumer attention, means with the help of personal sellings it is easy to get more of attention of the customers, because of the face to face interactions between the salesman and customers, which helps the customers to know more about the product, and gets the informative and more of uh, the bonding and the relation becomes stronger between the customers and the seller. And the another one is the number 5, lasting relationships, or you can say only relationships. So in personal selling, it helps to create lasting, it means it helps to create a good bonding of relationship between the customers and the sellers, which help in increasing the sales. So this also we had mentioned, because a salesman should be honest and should not try to win the customers through false and misleading representations. So a salesman uh, should always have a good character, and should always be loyal and dependable, and he should also perform his duty very sincerely. And also they should also have the wide knowledge about the product which he is selling and the company he is representing. So he must have the capacity to inspire more of trust, and at the same time should have a good power of memory and observations. And the next is the personal support. So personal support, it says that through personal selling the salesman can create personal support with the customers, which can improve the competitive strength of the organizations. And he or she should always be polite while talking to the customers, and should always have patience. And whatever the question asked by the customers, they should always answer them in a polite and a patiently manner. And the seventh is the role in introduction stage, means a person selling is very effective when they have to introduce a new product. A salesman can explain the usage, the advantages of the products by showing the demonstration and clarifying the doubts of the customers. And the eighth point is the link with the customers, means sales promotion or the salesman plays three different roles, which helps in persuasive role, and also by giving the services role, and at the same time informative role, because which is the most convenient way of interacting with the customers through face to face communications, and thereby link a business firm to its customers. So with this we have finished with the importance to businessmen, and the next is the importance to customers. And under the importance to customers there are 4 points. Number 1, helps in identifying needs. Number 2, latest market information. Number 3, expert advice. And number 4, induces customers. Now let us go in detail. The first one says helps in identifying needs, because the salesman helps the customers to discover or their needs and wants, so that they also help the customers to know how these needs and wants can be satisfied, and know and also to know what kind of product actually the customers are looking for, so that they can know them in personal. So that is why it helps in identifying needs. It's similar to a research, because the salesman interacts with the customers on a daily basis, so that is how they'll come to know what kind of product actually the customers are looking for. So according to the importance of to customers, it helps in identifying the needs. Second one says latest market information. So in personal selling, the salesmen provide more of informations regarding the new products available in the market and the uses of those products, so which helps the customers to know more details and get more of the information of the newly product which are launched in the market. So that is how, through the help of the personal selling, the salesman can give the new information about the newly launched product and the latest news or the latest informations about the product to the customers in an convenient manner. So this is only because of the face-to-face interaction with the customers, which I have been telling you all the time while I am explaining it. And the third one is expert advices, means customers can get a good advices from the experts, and also at the same time guidance in purchasing various goods and services. So they have that comfortable in them asking the salesman like which kind of products are good, and they can get more of the informations and also the proper guidance regarding the new products which are suitable or which are good for the good for the consumers. So that is how they the good relations, the trust, the bondings are created. So that is why a salesman should always be of good character and should always be loyal and should be able to build more of trust with the customers, so that the expert advices given by them helps the customers and satisfy them with those of the products. And the fourth one is the induces customers, because personal selling induces customers to buy the product for satisfying their needs. So that is why they should always be loyal and they should always have a good power memory and observation, and should always be honest and should not try to win the customers through the false and misleading representations. So, and also he should also have the wide knowledge about the product that he is selling, or any question asked by the customers about the newly launched product also, he should have the knowledge of all those products, which creates a healthy business, so which creates a healthy relation between the buyer and the sellers. Induces means it helps the customers to purchase new product that satisfy their needs in a better way, and thereby helps in improving their standard of living. So under the importance of customers, let me tell you why it is important. Because the role of personal selling becomes more important for the illiterate and rural customers. So the importance to customers is that it is more important for the illiterate and rural customers who did not have many other means of getting the product informations. So the customers are benefited by the personal sellings. So with the help of the identifying needs, the to know about the latest market informations, the expert advices induces customers, which helps the customers to know more about the new products. So because of that, importance to customers are important, and person in this base the customer in this base the personal selling plays a very important role for the customers, people mainly living in the rural areas and those who are not educated, or you can say illiterate people, so they can get more informations because of the face-to-face interaction of the goods between the buyers and the sellers. So with this we have completed with the importance to customers. The first one was importance to businessmen, the second one was the importance to customers, and now we will move on to the third point, that is the importance to the society. Under the importance to the society, there are about 5 points. The first one is converts latest demand, second is employment opportunities, third is career opportunities, fourth is mobility of sales people or persons, and the fifth one is product standardizations. Now let us go in detail. But before we start, let me tell you that personal selling plays a very productive role in the economic progress of a society. So the more specific benefits of personal selling to our societies are as follows. The number one says converts latest demand, uh, or you can say converts the latest demand into effective demand. Means in personal selling, creative effective demand which results in increasing sales and more income. And because of the face-to-face communications, it results in the increasing sales and more of income. When there is more income, there will be more products and services, which in turn brings more of economic growth. So personal selling converts the latest demand into an effective demand, because through this cycle that the economic activity in the society is fostered, and which leads to more of job opportunities and more income. And if there's more income, then there is more of new products and services, and this is how the economic growth is influenced by the personal selling. The second one says employment opportunities. So under the employment opportunities, personal selling offers a greater income and employment opportunities to the unemployed youth by giving them the job. An unemployed youth can work as salesmen and earn their livelihood. And the third is career opportunities. So under the career opportunities, personal selling offers more of attractive careers with job satisfactions, and at the same time provide a great securities also for the advancement, and greater opportunities for the advancement and job satisfactions, as well as as I said, security, respect, variety, interest and dependence to young men and women, so they can know how to interact with the customers and how to deal with them. So it will be a independent way of exploring their work. And the third one is the career opportunities, which we just finished, and the fourth is the mobility to salesperson. So mobility to salespersons or people means salespeople move from one place to another, because this is because of the face-to-face interaction, they have to move from place to place to sell the product. So because of that, at the same time or simultaneously, it helps in the promotion of travel and tourism industries as well. So in the and the fifth one says the product standardization. So product standardizations helps in increasing the product standards and uniformity in consumption's pattern in a diverse society, or you can also say, so with the help of the personal selling, there can be uniformity of consumptions by supplying standardized products, because obviously people, they want a good quality of product but at a reasonable price. So if you produce a standardized product, a good quality product, then automatically the customers will pay the amount to that product if it is giving them a satisfaction. So it is worth paying the product if like to a product, if it gives if the product are loved by the customers, or it is like, or it gives more satisfactions to them. So that is why this was the importance to the society. So with this, we have finished with the role of personal selling. So in the next class, we will be dealing with the public relations.